Berat masa apa nak mulut ni? Gugup juga ni. Gugup juga ni. What the right. Okay, thank you everyone for enjoying this is so we are BMH Consulting. Okay, so basically now here in Malaysia we have our own Malaysia branch, which is basically our HQ is located in Singapore. So yeah, we have several branches throughout the globe. India branch, right? Saudi branch, KSA or Saudi branch, right? Dubai also branch, right? We do giving out services like a beam service. Okay, also we are the authorized gold partner. Okay, so yes. For today's session, this is our first episode for BMH Consulting Podcast, Malaysia branch, right? So, my name is Wan Ahmad Syafiq, alright? So, yes, people call me Wan, call me Ahmad Syafiq, and so, yeah, my nickname is basically, people call me as Abe, right? It's mainly from the Pantai Timur, okay? Daripada Pantai Timur, how is it called Pantai Timur? The eastern beaches, I guess? Okay. So yeah, so for this first episode, I'm not alone over here. So I have invited our guest, right, Mr. Nazmi. Okay, so Mr. Nazmi over here is a managing director for his company. Okay, like literally doing beam services and also the other services lah, right? Rather than some kind of doing it alone. So we currently have a team. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of introduction is already there. So yeah, let's enjoy the podcast. So basically, our podcast today is on. Okay, so masa kena relax macam tu lah, tak boleh nak straight sangat kan? Kan, betul tak? So for this first episode, alright. So our podcast is we'll talk about exploring a beam technology. Okay, so for here today, Mr. Nazmi is quite a eye-catching person for me myself. Yeah, Mr. Nazmi.
Yeah. No.
Not yet. Right. So yeah, it's already catch my eyes. All these people outside there. Okay, throughout all of the social media. Okay, now they can sense that. Oh, now he is quite active in the social media. Yeah, Mr. Nazmi.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, yeah, for sure. Let's start with. Who are you actually?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hi Nazmi. Okay. So alright. Okay. Thank you Abe for inviting me, and of course thank you to BMH also for inviting me for this first ever podcast. Okay. Sorry, this is my first time. I'm little bit tak biasa sikit lah. Alright. Okay. So my name is Nazmi. Alright. So I have my own company, Beam Experts Dalam Berhad, which is just established by early this year because I want to gather all the local talents for the BIM, and then we can move together to enhance the building information modeling implementation in engineering and construction industry. Alright, so a little bit about my background. So I graduated from UiTM.
UiTM.
Yes,
I see.
UiTM in Shah Alam.
Shah Alam.
Shah Alam. I Kedah lah. I nak Kelantan lah. Okay. Right, so my background is engineering lah. Actually my background is shockingly is oil and gas engineering. Is oil and gas engineering.
Oh, I see.
Yes. But the reason why I would like to venture into this construction and construction industries because of this technology lah.
So basically, you are from oil and gas background.
Yep.
So before you continue, like I want to jump in with my question first lah.
Okay.
Right? How can you be interested so much in construction industries?
Okay, first of all, because when we talk about technology, if we compare oil and gas and construction, actually oil and gas is already advanced forward compared to construction. So while the construction, the technology implementation is still new. I think in Malaysia maybe around 2010 maybe.
There's something around that.
something around that. When we talk about BIM in oil and gas, actually we call as PDMS, Plant Design Management System.
I
But
see.
that's the thing. That's why I really interested to venture to this construction industries. And second, I see a lot of opportunities. Of course, we see a lot of opportunities in construction lah. That's why I moved from oil and gas to construction. Focus on the latest technologies such as BIM, GIS, all of that.
I see. So it doesn't mean that because you cannot compete with the PDMS and so on, and then you swift it away to BIM. It's not like that.
Maybe like that. Because in oil and gas, the competition is very tough. As you know, maybe some of you baru tahu hari ni kan. There are a lot of universities offer the petroleum engineering courses. Usually we familiar with the UTP, UTM, but actually also UiTM.
I see.
And also there are some private, IPTE,
IPTS.
Also, IPTS, also offered the petroleum or oil and gas engineering lah. So that's why the competition is quite tough.
I see.
And also this industry is not stable actually. Sometimes go up, sometimes go down. So that's why I want to move, berhijrah lah. Move to the construction industry and then focus on this technology lah. Really interesting lah for me. Yeah, really interesting because that's a new thing. For
I see, yes.
In oil and gas, the PDMS already since 1990s maybe, something around that. But in construction, the technology implementation for the project management is still new. So quite interesting for us to explore this one. Yeah.
So I mean, after you're starting to involve with a BIM, right? So yeah, because people outside there saying that, BIM is just new in Malaysia, But normally, for what I just heard, outside of Malaysia, it's been implementing since a long time ago.
Yeah, correct.
So I mean, after you shifting into this construction industry, so does it mean like you started from a zero in terms of the knowledge?
The first of all, my passion toward the technology, especially software, is very, very high. My passion.
So you like to use software lah?
Yeah. I like to see the software, especially the 3D design software. I like to explore that kind of software lah.
I see.
Because I kind of the visual person. I'm the visual person, so I like to see visual lah.
I see. Do you like to play games?
Yeah.
Do you like to play games?
Of course, I play
games.
GTA San Andreas, for example.
Alright. So no wonder that we are like easy to adapt with the software, right?
Yeah, correct. And also, by using this software, I can imagine, I can express my idea, I can do the planning. Yeah, that's why I love to explore this type of software lah. Where I already explore this type of software since at UiTM lah, 2015. I start to explore the AutoCAD software. Even though during that time AutoCAD is very famous for the 2D lah, but I already tried to develop the 3D model for the building by using the AutoCAD. During that time. I'm very passionate about this. So that's why that's one reason lah why I moved from oil and gas to construction lah. Even in oil and gas also they are still have a construction. For example, you want to build the plant, they still need architect.
Even with the construction,
architect.
I see.
They are also the construction element.
So it doesn't mean like you take a hard ride lah, just like a little bit.
Still related
on the same road lah.
Yeah, still related, but maybe around 30% lah.
30%.
Yes. Yeah, maybe kalau ada rezeki after this, maybe we can go back to oil and gas. Focus on construction. Yes, who knows?
Who knows in the future? I see, right? So so for you myself, for yourself, Mr. Nazmi, right? Basically what I just told in the in the beginning of the podcast just now, right? Early on the talk. So you did catch my eyes actually throughout the social media, alright? So one of the thing is I found that your journey to become a managing director right now is quite impressive, quite inspiring, right? How can you give tell your how your challenges to become a managing director now.
Okay, so my passion in entrepreneurship start during at university lah. Because that time I see lot of people, walaupun diorang dah, although they already become engineer, they still struggling lah kan. So that's why I think, what's the solution? What the solution we need to do to solve this problem lah. So among that, I see entrepreneurship is I think is the best lah. Of course lah, entrepreneurship is the best solution lah if you want to get better paid. Not better paid lah. The income is based on you lah actually, your company.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And also I love challenge.
You love challenge.
I love challenge. So during at university, I also involved with a lot of co-curriculum such as I already involved with the Army Palapis Darat.
Oh, Palapis. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you are Palak.
Yes.
Okay.
Apa
the terms dia panggil Palak.
Palapis lah.
Palapis kan? Units, right?
Army Reserve Training Unit something lah.
I see.
But tak habis lah. And another thing, I also involved with the taekwondo competition. And also I involved with some of the leadership campaign
program.
Leadership program, yes. So I joined that one because myself, I want that. I want to develop my leadership, of course. When we want to become the entrepreneur, of course, you need to furnish. You need to furnish. Correct. My word. I'm sorry, my English not good. Okay.
Lebih kurang lah.
Because I'm Malay. Okay. Alright. So cut lah. Okay. Okay, so I see in order to develop myself as an entrepreneur, of course, I need to enhance my leadership skill. So that's why I join a lot of things.
I see. Yeah. Oh, sorry to cut. I just saw throughout your social media that you are one of the best student during your schools.
Yeah, during SPM lah.
SPM,
Sijil,
best student ni.
Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia, best student lah.
Best student, top
best
one.
Student, top one.
Oh yo.
At my
that's
school.
what I said, guys. Now this is very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you need to push yourself lah. Actually, I'm not very intelligent person lah. Yeah, I'm not very good in scoring exam during school, but
then you get the top one.
Yeah. Then I push myself because I cannot understand what my teacher teach during at class. I can maybe around from 100%, around 20% lah. I can get. So after that, I go to back to home and open books, study myself lah. Yeah, my own initiative lah. I think maybe because myself is more on visualized person.
I see. So what you see, you get.
Yes. Maybe that teacher need to lukis and then I understand lah.
Difference from me is because if for myself, people teaching in the front, I tak tengok lah. I tak tengok depan. I just go down, look down and write here. More to stereo.
Yeah. What?
Stereo type.
Stereotype. Auditory.
Auditory.
Yeah, auditory lah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and for sure I can remember.
Yeah, correct.
Different people just different styles.
Different people have different capabilities.
Yes.
So that's why sometimes I not agree lah if people just set one pass after the university. There are a lot of journey after school. You can explore TVET for example.
Yes.
Kemahiran and lot of things lah you can explore actually.
Betul.
Yeah.
It's a good initiative for government juga, kan? Right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Alright. So now TVET is quite demanding right now.
Yeah, quite growing because our country is still new lah for that.
Yeah.
That's why the demand is very high lah compared to engineering.
So that's why to becoming a developed country, now we are developing. Yes, that's one of the way to become a country lah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people always talk about why we use this type of software, why we don't create our own software. I think in order for you to create your own software, you need to understand this first. Study first, familiar with this.
How it works with the environment.
Yeah, how you understand the flow, environment, all of that. And then,
Right. So, macam mana perjalanan Encik Nazmi nak jadi seorang usahawan sekarang ni kan? Nampak macam memang menarik lah. Saya pun inspired tau.
Perjalanan nak jadi usahawan ni, you kena ada passion.
Oh, fashion
You kena ada passion. Bukannya semata-mata you nak duit. You kena ada passion. Sebab kalau orang tanya saya kan, kenapa nak jadi usahawan? Sebab saya suka freedom.
Suka freedom.
Saya suka freedom. Saya suka decide my own hala tuju.
Tapi saya suka duit lah.
Of course lah.
Saya suka duit lah.
Saya buat tak nafi kan.
Memang basically duit lah.
Betul
kan.
betul.
Kalau penipu tak lah. Memang semua duit lah.
Bohong lah kalau tak suka duit.
Pasal duit lah.
And then after that saya nampak teknologi ni is very good lah untuk saya growkan bisnes saya. Sebab teknologi ni tak ramai lagi yang explore. So bila benda tak ramai lagi explore, dia kita ibarat kita panggil apa?
Pioneer lah.
Pioneer ataupun green. Blue ocean.
Blue ocean.
Benda baru yang tak ramai kompetitor. So seronok lah macam you buat.
Aku tak tahu apa tu, tapi angguk je lah.
Blue ocean ni macam benda yang kau buat. Boleh aku kau yang kau buat tak ramai explore. Maksudnya kompetitor tak ramai. And they keep and they keep evolve. Which is teknologi lah. Kalau red ocean ni macam engineering lah. That's why engineering kalau tengok market is very tough. Kita tengok banyak keluhan orang.
Terlalu ramai lah.
Terlalu ramai. Mana tak ramainya. IPTE, IPTS, luar negara termasuk yang dah menganggu, termasuk yang nak kerja balik, yang dah jadi food panda nak kerja balik. The competition is very tough. So that's why I prefer untuk teknologi lah. I engineer. I registered engineer. With BM lah, bukan professional lah, graduate engineer lah. Okay, tapi I pilih teknologi sebab dia benda baru. Macam you buat lah. You jual pun benda baru. You can deliver something new and something special kepada klien-klien kat luar sana lah.
Itu yang selalu kita consult dekat orang luar sana lah.
Yes.
Sebab mainly lah, memang majority sangat-sangat orang yang saya jumpa lah kan, dia macam, saya agak takut lah. Saya agak takut lah nak tukar balik daripada conventional cara dia orang tu kan, on how to nak implement teknologi sekarang.
Ya.
Ramai sangat, memang semua orang takut.
So menjadi tanggungjawab kita lah untuk spread the awareness, untuk bagi diorang sedar, faham benda ni sebenarnya kalau dibuat dia akan memberikan banyak benefit sebenarnya. Betul. Banyak benefit. Saya pernah, pengalaman saya mengajar dekat satu company. Bila saya mengajar tu, terus dia kata, can we hire you as our advisor? Terus. Tak payah interview, mengajar je terus. Dia nak hire on the spot. Sebab dia tengok kita boleh deliver something special. Benda yang tak pernah lagi orang buat. Before ni kaedah manual, susah sikit. So saya propose kaedah yang senang, berstruktur.
Yang mana outcome dia pun lagi much more better lah.
Outcome dia much more better. Lebih berintegrate. So on the spot kami nak hire you as our advisor. So that's why I cakap teknologi ni adalah my drive lah, business drive yang bagi strong.
Itulah orang kata sekarang ni mengidolakan ramai orang
you learn lah saya cakap you need to learn. You need to learn the technology. Banyak teknologi yang ramai lagi orang kita tak explore. Instead of you sibuk merungut pasal gaji rendah, pekerjaan susah dapat kerja, you kena fokus on technology, because technology is very high demand. Betul? Very high demand. And then
kalau kita tertinggal
Kau tertinggal bas.
Benda laju sekarang ni. Benda memang sangat laju.
Contoh, kalau you tertinggal, you belajar, tiba-tiba esok ada benda lain. You kena catch up, kena cepat.
Betul.
Sebab tu saya nasihat kita kena selarilah dengan perluasan BIM sekarang ni. Contoh antaranya lah,
dia macam kalau kita tunggu kat stesen bas ataupun stesen LRT lah, paling senang kata bas lah kan, duduk kat bus stop kan, waktu peluang tu datang tu bas tu datang kan.
Betul.
Naik tak nak naik.
Betul.
Lepas tu bas tu dia gerak, and then you already miss your peluang dekat situ.
Betul.
Nak tunggu bas kemudian. Betul. Sampai ke tidak.
Betul. Lebih kurang macam tu lah.
Lebih kurang macam tu lah. Dia
kurang
juga nampak tu. Filosofi power tau.
Bagus tu. Pakar falsafah.
Betul lah. Macam kita waktu orang tengah ramai dalam transition tu.
Yes.
Waktu tu lah kita jump in sekali.
That's the right time. Especially macam kita cakap, for example BIM ke inilah GIS ke apa ke, benda-benda ni sangat-sangat baru, and they keep evolve. So bila you catch up, you can give something special dekat orang yang orang lain tak boleh bagi. Itu yang saya cakap tu. You present, orang terus hire you. Macam tu. Special. Kalau saya pun, saya as majikan, you you datang interview dengan saya. The first thing saya akan tanya, what you can give to our company. Kita kena ada that mindset. Kita jangan interview oh saya interview sebab hidup sekarang keras.
Tak ada nak bagi jawapan macam tu.
Kita kena bagi something special lah to that company.
Sebab kita nak bekerja dengan dia.
Betul.
Dengan niat juga kita cari duit kita dan macam be part of your company punya journey tu.
You kena ada ownership lah. Bila you dapat kerja to that company, you need to
sense
the ownership,
sense of belonging.
Yes, on how to grow that company. Baru you jadi special.
Be part of the company.
For example, you are design engineer. What type of design engineer you want to be? Bila kita cakap design engineer, there are a lot of design engineer beratus kat luar sana. For example, site engineer. What type of site engineer you want to be? Site engineer yang berpengalaman, faham benda teknikal kat site. Beratus lagi ramai. Pandai. But to make it different,
what make you special?
What make you different to the others? Simple lah. Kita nak jadi special, kita kena make sure bila kita nak keluar company tu, bos tu terasa kehilangan kita. That's the thing.
Orang kata why should I hire you? Why should I hire you?
Betul. Why should I hire you? You kena deliver something lah.
Deliver something.
You jangan cerita sedih.
Ini tak boleh lah saya tak ada duit lah bang.
Hidup ni keras lah.
Tolong lah
banyak
saya.
Betul lah itu.
Tapi basically orang pun tak dapat pendedahan juga macam mana terms of how to communicate.
That's why kalau you tengok saya actively lah dekat social media. Sebab kita orang muda, kita orang muda kan, Gen Z. You Gen Z. Saya Gen Z. Separuh. Especially yang tengok podcast ni mostly Gen Z kan. Betul. So kita kena ada that responsibility sebagai orang yang tahu benda tu untuk deliver to them lah. Menggunakan media sosial. Saya ada LinkedIn, YouTube. Gunalah all of the medium
untuk sampai.
Untuk sampaikan kebaikan. Kita tengok ramai orang, itu yang sampai orang tengok bila influencer ni benda yang negatif. Sebenarnya influencer benda yang positif kalau you gunakan dengan cara betul.
That's supposedly to do.
The reason kenapa saya boleh buka syarikat ni sebab I actively use social media to spread the benefit of this engineering and technologies. See, you gunakan tempat yang betul lah.
Kita macam cari platform yang betul lah. Kita nak sebarkan the positivity, the goodness kan, right?
Betul. Yes. Everything you explore yang you guna, kalau you guna jahat-jahat lah, baik-baik lah. Macam cerita Ferdandi, bulu bentung. Putri bulu bentung cakap macam tu. Benda tu sebenarnya ada intipati dia, ada pengajaran dia. When you bila kau dapat satu benda, gunakanlah dengan sebaiknya.
Dia depends pada orang tu nak guna dia macam mana.
Macam media sosial. Kita tengok dalam media sosial, ramai orang bergaduh ke lagi ramai orang bergaduh ke lagi ramai orang yang spread the benefits?
Lagi ramai orang bergaduh sebenarnya.
Bergaduh. Gaji rendah, bergaduh habis. Panjang tau. Kita tengok, kau ni tak ada kerja. Aku tak ada masa. Kita sibuk tu. Kita kena fokus on diri kita, develop to give the best lah. Gunakan instead of gaduh dalam media sosial, kita come out dengan solution baru special. Macam you nak jual produk betul, you kena deliver something special lah. Deliver the solution. Kerja jadi lambat, macam mana kita nak cepatkan kerja dia macam tu.
We help them, kita consult dia, kita tolong dia, bagi suggestion, you can do this way, you can do this way, you can do this way. Bukannya instead boleh je remain dengan cara lama, tak ada masalah, saya datang tolong kemudian. Tak, kita perlu tukar dia.
Betul.
Supaya dia adapt dengan apa yang ada sekarang.
Betul. Sebab benda-benda macam ni, benda-benda teknologi ni, dia bagi banyak benefit in term of social, in term of your career, in term of your business. Banyak teknologi ni. Sebab teknologi ni dibangunkan adalah untuk memudahkan kerja, memberi solution. Before this, orang tuning jadi sana, tuning jadi sini. So bila ada teknologi ni, dia akan mengelakkan benda-benda macam tu. Dia akan produce output yang lebih bersusun, berstruktur. So orang tak boleh nak simply tuning jari sana sini.
Betul.
That's the solution. Kita kena sentiasa come out dengan solution.
Betul.
Dia simple lah. Kalau you nak jadi orang yang hebat, orang yang shine among the diamond, you need to propose what others don't. You kena ada something special lah macam tu lah. Macam yang sampai ke tahap you pergi kat company orang tu, Sembang terus ya you tak perlu interview pun.
Tak perlu hantar proposal lagi.
Tak perlu hantar resume job street.
Stop cakap kerja dengan aku.
Sampai setiap hari tengok job street. Aduh sedihnya. Lepas tu posting kat media sosial. Tak dapat kerja pasal orang, tak dapat invitation.
Dia macam kereta
Yes.
lah. Kereta dulu macam mana, lepas tu manual, dan seckarang auto.
Yes.
Pasal teknologi. Lepas ada auto boleh pula self drive.
Betul.
Boleh bawa sendiri. Tengok tu
Duduk
teknologi
belakang
kereta.
Duduk belakang steering pusing ni.
Steering pusing. Itu sembang pasal kereta. Ini sembang macam the workflow yang
The
kita
workflow
sekarang,
lah.
Workflow. Daripada dulu dia start dengan manual tu lukis.
Ya.
kan. Lepas tu keluarlah CAD punya software.
Betul.
Boleh buat 2D je.
Betul.
Lepas tu CAD software boleh buat 3D pula.
Yes.
Boleh buat 3D. Sekarang ni people must implement lah.
Yes.
We kena adapt.
We need to adapt. Sebab lot of people dia sangat impressed. For example, kalau you tengok lah orang share kan, orang-orang lama lah especially. Oh, dia bagus sebab dia buat manual. Kita puji you. I respect you. You boleh buat manual.
Betul.
Tapi you kena faham, zaman sekarang zaman teknologi. Semua benda bergerak pantas. Kalau you nak tunjuk kehebatan you buat manual, tertinggal bas lah.
Memang tertinggal bas lah.
You kena adapt. Teknologi ni laju. You kena adapt untuk follow apa? Perkembangan teknologi tu. Sebab kalau kita tengok company-company yang successful, apa sebabnya sekarang?
Digitalization.
Digitalization. Latest digitalization. Payah sebut
digitalization.
Digitalization. Dia orang betul-betul well utilize the latest technology. That's why they can grow. Compare dengan company-company lama yang masih lagi nak menggunakan kaedah manual. Diorang ke belakang. Cara lama.
Once kita datang pun dia masih lagi menolak.
Betul.
Agak susah kutuk
itu,
kita tu.
Itu dugaan kita. Bila kita nak buat benda ni, orang akan ada yang menolak, especially orang-orang yang besar lah, of course lah.
Dia tak nampak functionality dia, apa yang boleh membantu dekat team dia.
Betul.
So benda ni nak katakan kadang-kadang yang menghadapi cabaran dia tu dekat user. Yang dekat atas-atas tu tak nampak.
Betul lah tu. Yes. Kita kena collab lah. Okay, you orang lama. You ada hands on yang bagus.
Even experience semua, kita semua hargai experience dia.
We need your that hands on knowledge, all of that. Jangan you letak barrier. Orang-orang muda ni tekan software klik-klik bukan pandai hands on. Jangan macam tu. I orang muda, I power on the software, I power on the digitalization. Kita combine together, collab. You ada hands on skill, you ada experience bagus, kita share. Macam mana kita nak combine this together, you hands on and
to move further. To move further.
Macam mana nak solve the solution tu.
Betul.
Bukannya letak barrier.
Betul, bukan letak barrier. Bukannya kita you experience tu okay sampai situ je, kita nak move further and then bye you. Tak. Kita bawa dia sekali because the experience is experience tu berharga tu.
You put your ego lah. I tahulah you tua, you dah senior kan, kita ni junior lagi, tapi janganlah macam tu. Kita Gen Z untuk kita Gen Z.
Hidup Gen Z.
Hidup Gen Z. Ramai Gen Z tengok ni. Tak, kita Gen Z ni kita well exposed to this technology and kita lebih faham. Nak compare dengan yang Gen apa? Y cari cakap macam bukan Gen Y je. Gen Y diorang ni, diorang lebih kepada hands on. Kita faham, tapi kita dekatkanlah sekali. Move together. Barulah negara ni grow. Jadi develop ke arah develop
negara maju.
Yes, betul. Yes.
I see. Memang macam tu lah dia punya sekarang ni kita punya cabaran untuk untuk nak bagi ke semua players kat luar sana untuk adapt dengan digital sekarang ni kan. Itu dia. Sembang kencang benar ya Nazmi. Hey.
Sembang kencang. Orang Kedah kata sembang kemas.
Kalau saya asal Kelantan kan. Sedap buah kata.
Sedap buah.
Sedap buah. Ini kita tengah bawa tadi kan. Sedap buah.
Okey.
Dia punya penyampaian pun. Penyampaian kita pun sampai.
Kita sesantai. Kita not too formal. We are on the modern era.
Modern era.
Orang lebih suka penyampaian yang santai. Bukannya you buat ni, you buka buku, tengok chapter berapa, chapter 4 semua. Itu bosan.
Macam kita buka buku dah soalan, tanya jawab. Tanya jawab. Ada lain lah.
Macam you lah, I tanya you. You prefer cara mengajar yang santai ataupun you prefer cara mengajar yang agak skema?
Saya punya santai.
Yes.
Saya punya style yang mana banyak agak kelas saya buat kan. Saya suka santai. Jangan stres harus saya buat. Jangan stres hari ni. Let off your ego pun semua, buang semua ego. Santai. Nak tanya-tanya kita akan buat sama-sama.
Santai. Kita tak ikut buku. Tak boleh. Kita tak cover that syllabus. Relax lah.
Tak. Jangan sebut sama dia tu. Jangan terlalu rigid.
Kita bukannya KB apa? Benda-benda lah yang syllabus rigid ni. Kita open. Kita open for discussion. Kalau kita buat apa cara mengajar macam tu, orang lagi suka.
Ya, betul. Open lah.
Betul. Open discussion. Macam tu. Flexibility, yes. Kita bukannya berada di era yang ni salah tak.
Betul.
Kita open. Open, you ada opinion, I ada opinion, macam tu lah.
Betul. Right, so kiranya apa yang kita sembang 2 hari ni, everyone pun dah kenal lah siapa Encik Nazmi dekat sini. Basically dia pun inspire dari saya. Siapa entrepreneur yang umur pun quite tak berapa tua, tak apa muda, tapi
Gen Z
nak beralih kepada umur 40 pun lambat lagi.
Lambat lagi lah.
Boleh bagi tips, bagi trik lah.
Sedekat sealaf.
Sealaf.
Sedekat lah.
10
tahun.
Hampir sedekat. Hampir sedekat lah. Tapi nak kata sedekat 100.
Sedekat 100 abad. Mana-mana lah. Nak kata kita muda lah.
Basically muda lah. Yang entrepreneur dekat sini. So kita pun actually dah sampai pada hujung perbualan, hujung podcast kita lah. Beamish Cafe, right? Jangan lupa everyone. Okay, kita akan sambung pada episod yang seterusnya. Okay, for the next episode we will continue our Beamish Cafe. Let's wait.
Beamish Cafe.
Who's gonna be our guest?